It's 3 in the morning. You wake up thirsty, and now you have to walk to the kitchen. The hallway is dark. The same hallway you walk through 40 times a day without a single thought. Same carpet, same photos, same coat you keep meaning to hang up. Nothing has changed, except the light is off. And somehow, that changes everything. You get your water, and on the way back, a very old, very quiet voice in the back of your skull whispers something completely irrational. Don't look behind you. Walk faster. Actually, to run the last few steps. And you do. You, a grown adult who pays taxes and understands mortgages, briefly sprint through your own home like something is about to grab your ankles. Then you get into bed, and the feeling vanishes. There's nothing there. There was never anything there. You know that. So what is going on? Why does turning off one light transform a safe, familiar space into a threat? Why is the most dominant species on the planet, the animal that builds cities and splits atoms, still deep down afraid of the dark? Here's the thing nobody tells you. That fear isn't childish. It isn't a weakness you failed to grow out of. It's one of the oldest and most successful pieces of survival software your brain has ever run. And the reason it still fires today in your safe, locked, alarm-protected home is one of the most fascinating stories in all of human evolution. Because you're not actually afraid of the dark. You're afraid of what the dark used to mean. Let's get one thing straight first, because everyone gets it slightly wrong. You're not scared of darkness itself. Darkness is just the absence of light. It has no weight, no substance, it can't hurt you. A dark room and a lit room are physically identical. Nothing is added when the lights go off. Something is taken away. Your single most important sense, vision. Humans are creatures of the eye. Around a third of your brain is devoted to processing what you see. We judge threat, distance, and safety by sight. So when the lights go out, you're not just in the dark. You've been suddenly, brutally disabled. Your main tool for understanding reality has been switched off, and now you're standing in a world you cannot read. And your brain hates that. A known threat it can handle. But an unknown, a space that might contain a threat, and you have no way to check, that's the exact situation your nervous system is least able to tolerate. So it does the only thing it can. It guesses. And evolution has trained it to always guess the same way, assume the worst. Here's the brutal math. Picture two ancestors hearing a rustle in the bushes at night. The first thinks, probably the wind, I'll go check. The second thinks, could be a predator, I'm staying by the fire. 99 times out of 100, it's the wind, and the cautious one looks paranoid. But that one time it's a leopard, the relaxed, curious one gets eaten. And eaten ancestors don't have children. So who are you descended from? The nervous one. You are the end product of an unbroken chain of the most successfully paranoid organisms that ever lived. That flinch in the dark hallway isn't a bug. It's the feature that kept you alive. And it got worse, because human eyes are embarrassingly bad at night. Nocturnal animals like cats and owls are loaded with light-collecting cells, and many have a reflective layer behind the eye. That's what makes a cat's eyes glow in your headlights. It's built-in night vision. Humans have none of that. Our eyes are optimized for bright daylight and color. In real darkness, we're nearly helpless. We bump into furniture in our own bedrooms. Which means that for millions of years, sundown didn't just make the world hard to see, it flipped the balance of power. In daylight, early humans were formidable. But when the sun went down, all our advantages switched off, and a whole different cast of characters woke up. The night belonged to them. And who were they? This is the part we don't like to admit. For most of our history, we were not the mighty hunter. We were the meal. A paleontologist named C.K. Brain studied the bones of early humans in South African caves and found skulls with matching puncture marks, two neat holes, a specific distance apart. They lined up exactly with the lower canines of a leopard. These weren't hunters who died in battle. They were prey. A leopard would kill an early human and drag the body into a tree to eat in peace. Some of those ancient human caves were essentially leopard dining rooms. And we were on the menu, along with saber-toothed cats, giant hyenas, cave lions, and crocodiles. Most of them hunted at night when their vision crushed ours. Night wasn't rest. Night was a gauntlet. So imagine being one of those ancient humans. The sun is setting. You can feel your one advantage, your sight, draining away with the light. And you know, from the screams you've heard in the dark, from the family who went out and never came back, that things are out there. Things that can see you when you can't see them. What do you feel? A deep, cold, full-body dread. The overwhelming urge to get close to the others, to not be alone, to not be exposed, which is exactly what you feel in that hallway at 3 in the morning. Same circuitry, same chemistry. The only thing that's changed is the leopard is gone. But your brain never got the memo. Deep in your brain sits a small almond-shaped cluster called the amygdala. Your threat detector, your smoke alarm. It's fast and it's dumb, and both are on purpose. It makes you jump back from a coiled shape on the trail before you realize it's just a stick, because a brain that waited to be sure would occasionally get bitten. Jumping at a stick costs nothing. Missing a real snake costs everything. And in the dark, this alarm loses its best information source, your eyes. So it escalates. That creak of the house becomes a footstep. That shadow becomes a shape. Scientists have measured this. People flinch far harder at a sudden noise in the dark than in a lit room. Same noise, same person. Darkness alone cranks up the volume on your entire fear system with no threat present at all. And here's the proof: it's built in, not learned. Children. Fear of the dark shows up around age 2 or 3, almost like a developmental milestone, and it's nearly universal across every culture on Earth, even in kids who've never seen a scary movie. It arrives on schedule everywhere, which is the fingerprint of biology, not experience. And it makes tragic sense that it peaks in childhood, because a small child alone in the dark was the easiest possible target for a nighttime predator. The kid screaming, "Don't leave me alone in the dark," isn't being difficult. That child is running a survival program millions of years old. And it worked. Every adult alive was once a kid whose fear kept them close to a protector. Then we found our weapon, fire. When our ancestors learned to control it, hundreds of thousands of years ago, they didn't just gain warmth and cooked food. They gained a circle of light in the endless night, a space where their eyes worked again, and where most predators wouldn't come. Picture it, a group huddled around a fire, darkness pressing in on all sides, full of things that want to eat them. But here, inside the light, there's warmth and safety and each other. That's why a campfire still feels so deeply, primally good. That's why children want a nightlight, not full brightness, just a little circle of glow to hold the dark at bay. It's the campfire, still burning in the back of your mind. But here's the strangest twist. For the first time in 300,000 years, the dark isn't dangerous anymore. When the sun goes down tonight, nothing changes. No leopard is coming. Nothing is coming. We invented the light bulb and won the war against the night completely. So the fear should be gone. And yet it isn't, because evolution is slow, working over millions of years, and we've only been safe for a century or so. On that timescale, that's nothing. You are running ancient survival software in a world it was never designed for. Your fear of the dark is a perfectly preserved piece of the deep past, still firing inside a person who has never once been truly threatened by the night. So the next time you feel that prickle in a dark room, don't fight it and don't feel silly. It's not childish. It's the oldest part of you, still standing watch. It's 100,000 grandmothers and grandfathers whispering the same thing they whispered around the fire, the thing that kept our fragile, clever, hunted little species alive through the longest nights. Stay alert, stay close, and make it to the morning. You always do. And a small, ancient, faithful part of your brain is the reason why.